All right, we're going live. All right, this is a blog post on how to juggle. No, just kidding. It's about how AI is going to show us bias. All right, I'm going to walk through one study that we've put together, and everyone's going to learn about this. At Subconscious, we are replicating the world's sociology, psychology, and economics papers, and we're running those same sets of papers on different language models to see how those language models respond and to understand why they make the decisions they do. We do this by performing gold standard research, randomized, controlled, blinded studies. Even the language model does not know what is being tested. I'm going to walk through one little experiment this morning that we replicated almost a year ago, which is Hain-Mueller 2014. It's a study about immigration. It's a topic in the news. This Hain-Mueller 2014 paper was asking citizens, what types of immigrants would you prefer to enter the country? If you have a limited number of green cards that you give, who gets the green card and who doesn't, based on these different types of applications coming in. Now, we took this same experiment and we replicated it with language models, and we're going to show you what both humans and language models prefer our immigration policy to be. Okay, now I'll put the links in the doobly-doo, and then we can all talk about it. Okay, these are the results here. What you see here is an AMCE graph. This is sometimes called an effect size graph. Sometimes you'll see this called CATE, C-A-C-A-T-E as well. And let me explain how to read these real quick. Dots to the right of the zero cause an immigration official to accept the applicant. The levels to the left, the dots to the left of the zero, cause people to not prefer that immigrant. Now let's take a look from top to bottom. What you see here is yellow is the human baseline results, and then we have a half a dozen different language models that we've used as the synthetic respondent to see how those results differ or are similar. Now let's look at the top here. This is gender, right? Women immigrants are preferred to male immigrants pretty consistently. If we look at education, the more educated the immigrant, the more likely that immigrant is to be accepted. No surprise there. Educated women win. By the way, this educated women bias exists pretty much across every study we run. Who do you want to give the vaccine to? Who do you want as a coworker? Who do you want as an immigrant? It's always educated women. If we look at English fluency, English fluency is also strongly preferred. Interestingly, humans have a much stronger bias against interpreters than language models. Language models, I guess, are more okay with interpreters. It's interesting because the first probably 5 years of these early use cases, of these early language model use cases, was almost exclusively translation. We look at country of origin. Nobody really cares where you're from. Doesn't really matter. But we see a little bit of a divergence in country of origin being Iraq. This is a strong negative bias in humans. Now, what we notice here is there's a strong positive bias towards Iraqi immigrants. Keep in mind, this was as of 2014. We see a strong positive bias with Mistral. Mistral, coincidentally, I don't know if it's a coincidence, is the language model that was trained in Europe. I think Mistral is mostly a French group. I'm not actually sure, but you can start to see some regional bias there. Professions, we love all professions. The more educated the better. Doctors and nurses are preferred to janitors and waiters. The more skilled you are, the better. The more confident you are of a job, the better. And we don't really care why you're coming to the U.S. as long as you have not broken the law in entering the country. Humans have a strong negative bias towards illegal immigration, but it seems like, which one is this? GPT-3 doesn't seem to have a problem with illegal immigration. So this just starts to give you a sense of the types of experiments and studies and bias that you can get in our little platform. Feel free to take this experiment. You can fork it. It's, we sometimes call ourselves the GitHub for social science. You can take any experiment, you can fork it, modify the variables, and run your own. And that's our lesson for today. Educated women are the preferred immigrants, and as long as you're not a French trained language model, nobody cares where you're from.